Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Slinging Dirt. I'm Buddy Ray.
I'm Matt Dennis, everybody.
Who the hell are you?
My name's Kevin Lenz.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk to Kevin here in a little bit. So we got a really big show lined up. Kevin's gonna chime in on a lot of different topics. We'll get into who he is, so stay tuned. It's Slinging Dirt. Hey everybody, welcome back to Slinging Dirt. This week, we don't actually have a driver interview per se in the true interview sense. We have the one and only Kevin Lenz. Kevin, you're out of Alta, Iowa, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
What are you? Good God, don't call me sir. I gotta work for a living. I mean, come on.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but your birthday was a few months ago. You are getting a little old.
Well, you would call somebody like Dylan Smith or Chris Abelson or Jesse Sobbing sir. I run a freaking B mod, sport mod. You know, and finishing 10th this year is like a win for most people, for me. So, I mean, don't call me sir. It's like putting a lead poop house on a frozen over lake. You just don't belong. You can just call me Bud.
Okay.
You can call him sir. He probably makes more money than I do.
Well, yeah, probably.
So Kevin here is actually, like I said, don't ever call me sir. Kevin here is probably one of the biggest super fans when it comes to dirt track racing. You live, about 3 blocks from Buena Vista Raceway there in Alta?
Yes, buddy.
How many, now we're going to go even more formal and call me by my first name. Wow. My own wife doesn't call me by my first name.
No, what she calls you, we can't repeat.
So, talk about the tracks, that you've been to in 2016. What have you noticed from a fan standpoint this year?
A lot of good tracks this year. Good car counts, beginning, kind of falling off. Heat's been playing a lot of issues, I think, with drivers. And
How many tracks overall have you been to this year?
too many to count.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen somewhere on your Facebook, it was either tracks or races that you'd been to. How many races have you been to?
39.
39. Wow, I'm doing good to get in 8.
It's got me beat. I think I've only been to 3 races this year so far.
Yeah, and the season's technically not even half over. Of the 39 races that you've been to, do you have a particular series or a particular track that you really like following?
Yeah, I like following Buena Vista Raceway in Alta and Hamilton County Speedway in Webster City.
No. Yeah, it seems, have you seen the car counts at Webster City?
Webster City had 97 cars last weekend.
Yeah, last year they were doing good if they were pulling in 45, 50 cars at one time. What do you think what do you think Webster City's got going on that's making it so successful this year so far?
I think a lot has to do with the promotion over there, and track's been really good all year. They did a really good job of that track, and
A lot of multi-groove racing going on. This year, 39 races. Have you set a number of races that you'd like to attend?
hoping around 70.
70, that's more than I go to in 3 years.
70 is a slow year.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
What's some of the big races that you got coming up that you want to go to? Or that we have coming up that you want to go to?
There's a veterans race in Britt, Hancock County Speedway, June 28th.
Okay. Anything else?
I know Harris Clash is coming up in August, Hamilton County Speedway.
What do you think about the Harris Clash being moved back to where it's at now?
It's pretty good. It was really good last year.
You think it's actually better served in that venue versus maybe Knoxville per se?
They were both good in both places.
I've never been to Knoxville before. We are planning on going to the Dirt Duel. It's Monday morning.
Okay, so you can't remember it was the Dirt Duel. Who puts it on?
Well, that would be the one and only dynamic Mike Bennett of Dynamic Drivelines.
That's right. At least you can remember that much. Good thing he's one of your sponsors.
Yeah, thank God.
Are you going to try to make it to that race, Kevin?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, you did hear that they're planning on making like a warrior shield looking thing for the trophy. I haven't seen pictures of it. Have you seen pictures of it?
I've seen pictures, but Mike had them blurred out so you couldn't see them as well, but you could get the general shape and idea of them, yes.
It's gonna be a mantelpiece type trophy. It's gonna be a really cool thing. I want to ask you from a fan's standpoint. When you see a lot of these tracks running on Friday nights, I know you go to Denison. I don't know if you've made it over there or not, but we have Blackbird Bend running on Friday nights. We have a lot of tracks on Friday nights. And I was talking to some drivers at Crawford County Speedway. Do you, as a fan, think there's too many tracks in this general area for the number of cars, or do you think we're fine?
I think Friday, it's kind of hard with all the different tracks in the area to put a whole bunch of cars at one. Just gotta spread them out. Kind of gets a little spread out, and that's probably why the fewer car counts at a lot of tracks.
Right.
Well, and same goes on Saturdays too. I mean, because we talked about this last week or the week before on the show about too many tracks and not enough drivers, or enough drivers, just so many tracks have drivers spread out now.
Right. Do gotta ask you, because I know you're one guy that does it on Facebook a lot. Live streaming. You like it?
Yeah, I like it for the reason that if a certain family member can't see their driver race at a particular night, the live stream comes in very handy.
Did you see the live stream from Lexington?
No.
That was amazing footage. I asked the guy who did it what cell phone he used. We were talking once again 2-3 weeks ago about how sometimes the live stream footage is real grainy and blurry, but it's starting to dawn on me that I think certain phones are better suited. While a lot of phones can do it, a lot of phones are suited better for it.
Well, and some of that they got to remember to wipe the lens off too, because if they have dust on the lens, it's going to be a pixelated picture there too.
Well, I know that night that you were, I can't remember what night, but you were live streaming from Buena Vista up there in Alta. And I actually called Rod Olson the next day. I was like, Rod, I did not know that track was that wide. And he starts laughing. He goes, until I started promoting it, I didn't realize it was that wide either. And I'm like, my God, what do you do? Go like 9 wide in the corners? He goes, I don't know if you go 9 wide, but I know you probably go 5 wide, and you've been there.
I've been there. You can definitely get 5 wide.
Oh, yeah. So because of your live streaming, now everybody knows, or if you don't know who I am or talk to me, a lot of people know that I've wanted to go to Alta. I've just been a little, gun shy pulling the trigger. But once I seen your live stream, that actually propelled me to go, yep, I'm going there. And we've been talking about it at the shop the last 2-3 weeks. We just got to make sure the RZR's going good and we're finishing nights, and then we're going to be going to Alta. So knock on wood, we finished the last 2 weeks with the RZR, top 10s both nights. We're getting the RZR to come around. Once we're comfortable with the RZR, we'll be at Alta, but thanks to you,
Yep.
that was the the last hurdle was watching that live stream. But Lexington, you could almost read the card numbers on the live stream when they came by. And the person shooting the live stream was sitting in the grandstands, and I was like, this looks like a fun track. I was envisioning Lexington, which I believe is Dawson County Raceway.
Yep.
I was envisioning DCR as more of a true oval, kind of like a 4/10 Belleville track, Belleville, Kansas. And what I saw was something that reminded me a cross between McCool and I-80.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, this looks like a fun track, and their surface looked pretty good, and their announcer sounded great. That announcer from Dawson County Raceway, I don't know who he is, but as I'm watching the live feed, it was almost like he was entertaining me also. And he was talking about what night they run. He was talking about the classes they run. He was talking about prices. He made it sound really fun just to watch the races. It's almost like he knew people were live streaming, so he might as well talk to everybody.
Which makes sense. I mean, there's everybody knows everybody's live streaming, whether it be from the stands or the pits, but promoters should be getting their announcers to do that more often, because I've noticed that before. The announcer shows up, they talk about who's racing what class, they call it play-by-play, but they rarely talk about admission prices or the next big night coming up for kids or fan appreciation night or something. They leave the information out of their program, and they need to all incorporate that more.
You know, Kevin, I watch your Facebook a lot, and people are always asking you a ton of questions. You know, what night, what's the start time? I mean, I've seen them ask everything under the sun minus, well, what size motor does J-Note Boom run? I mean, but they ask you everything, yeah, they ask you everything else. With that being said, do you have any advice for the promoters, for the fans out there, you know, when the people are coming to you and not the promoter?
I would say to get it out there more on Facebook and the website. Make sure everyone has a general idea of what time they start, the big events coming up at the tracks.
And to do that stuff more in advance than just a week before.
Yeah.
Start pushing their bigger shows 3, 4, 5 weeks in advance. Get the word out there.
I'm going to ask you a very tough question, Kevin. Everybody knows let's be honest, folks, it's hotter than hell this year. It's triple digits, 110 degree heat indexes all over the place, and that's not counting the heat or the heat index inside the track in the pits. This question was asked to me several years ago, and we've talked about this off camera. What can the tracks do, as a super fan such as yourself, Kevin, what can tracks do to entice fans to come out when really what they're doing is sitting on a hot bleacher in 110 degree heat? What can the tracks do to entice fans to come out and watch us?
Bottled water would be a big thing. Make sure there's plenty for every fan that comes in. Make sure everyone stays hydrated.
What's your, so give them like a free bottle of water.
Yeah.
Buy a ticket, get a bottle of water.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Whether it be at the gate or they give you a token or a ticket or something.
Well, here's what's going to happen. You're going to buy that $10 ticket at Crawford County Speedway. You're going to get that free bottle of water. That free bottle of water is going to go bye-bye. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to go buy more.
Plus, if they do it where you can only redeem a ticket or a token at the concession stand, well, you know, while I'm there, I might as well get a cheeseburger.
I want to ask you this. We talked about this last week. What's your thoughts as a fan on, they call them rainouts. I nicknamed them dry outs. It's 100 degrees out. The tracks are saying it's too hot. We're just going to cancel the races. What's your opinion on that?
I think for some places, it's a good idea, especially if the bleachers are sitting right directly in the sun. I think that's a very good idea. I know for the drivers, it'd probably be a good idea because it's got to get hotter than hot in those cars.
There's no word to describe how hot it gets in those cars.
You guys have air conditioning though.
Yeah.
You got that nice cool breeze blowing by you at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, nice cool breeze. Yeah, I wish I could bottle that cool breeze. Normally it's like 180 degree breeze.
Bag up some of your air conditioning at home and ride around in the car with you.
Yeah, throw some R12 in the fuel cell or something. Come on. So, I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to go talk to our sponsors or have the sponsors talk to us. We're going to come back. We're going to keep talking to Kevin, then we're going to go into some more Slinging Dirt. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, I'm Jeff with DriveDirtCars.com. Does your current race operation look like this? Well, if it does, give us a call at 815-990-2657. We're actually financing Harris Race Cars and CMC Crate Motor Connection crate motors for your racing operation. Our payments range anywhere from $200 to $350 a month. If you'd like to get a new motor or you'd like to get a new chassis, give us a call, 815-990-2657.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Slinging Dirt. We've got Super Fan out of northwestern Iowa, actually probably the whole state of Iowa. There's only about 5 of you. This is Kevin Lenz. Another one that I'd like to get on the show. Used to be the promoter for Stewart Speedway, Stewart International. I cannot think of his name right off the top of my head.
Chuck Vanderheiden?
No, that's the promoter. Oh my God, it's killing me who the announcer was. They let him go earlier this season.
Jeremy Fox.
Yes, Jeremy
Man. Yep.
Foxman. Super nice guy. Oh my God.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, and just a wealth of knowledge. But between you, Jeremy Fox, Lee Ackerman from ID Speedway, I mean, between the 3 of you guys, there's so much knowledge in racing, and with what you guys have seen, that would be amazing. But you wanted to mention something. We went to break.
Yeah, but I'd like to mention a promoter at Alta, Rodney Olson,
Oh, good old Rodney.
has really changed that track. We had a different promoter last year and results weren't very good, and this year Rodney's made a big difference.
What do you think is the single biggest thing that Rod's done to get cars back at Alta and make it fun?
From what I heard from the drivers, he goes down and introduces himself to every driver, says thank you for coming, gives you a handshake. I mean, I think that's the biggest key that I can see.
You know, years ago, Matt, when you've been to Blackbird Bend Speedway,
I have.
Brad Appleton was the first promoter I seen do this. And I'm not saying that all promoters did this, but after years of racing, the promoters were like, oh, well, you know, there's Joe Koziski, or hey, there's John Kinney Jr., or hey, there's Buddy Ray, or Jesse Saab, you know, and it is what it is, all right, you know, let's just keep running with this show. Let's get things underway. Brad Appleton made an impact with a lot of drivers because he would be on his 4-wheeler, and Brad would literally drive from stall to stall to stall, and he would shake everybody's hands. It didn't matter if you were the points leader or if you're the guy that would blow up 7 motors 7 weeks in a row. That'd be me.
Don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that. Yeah. Now I get why you say don't say that.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. But with that being said, he did that. He went to all the drivers, all classes. Went to Osceola, Iowa. Mr. Tom Nielsen, who owned Clark County Speedway. Not him, but the track announcer. I believe his name was Vanderheiden. He announces over at Stewart International also from time to time. He's a preacher, very nice guy. He would go to every driver's.
And whether it be talking to the driver or talking to crew members, for the guys down in the pits, that makes a big difference because it shows that they want you there and they appreciate you being there.
Well, yeah, I remember when the track announcer at Clark County Speedway, he'd come up, and it wasn't just a handshake, hey, you know, great to see you, thanks for coming out, and he'd go over. Now, this is the only promoter I'd see would do this. Well, you did pretty good. Did you make any changes to the car that I can talk to the crowd about? And I got to thinking, that's a really good idea. You know, so he would literally have a notepad, and he would just scribble down a couple quick notes. I mean, he wasn't going to make no, you know, half-hour show about every driver, but oh yeah, we made a couple changes, moved a couple bars around, added some lead and here and there, and he was like, all right, well, while you're out there, you know, we'll be talking about that. So before the show, the track announcer would go through the point standings. As he's going through the point standings, he's talking, well, Buddy Ray did this, or Rick Germer did this, or Jason Mason did that. And I thought that was really cool. You don't see that a lot. Rod Olson, though, you are absolutely correct. Rod Olson, he's a lot like Joe Koziski. If you can't find Rod Olson at Crawford County Speedway, and if he's like this at Crawford County Speedway, I can only imagine that he's like this at Buena Vista. If you can't find Rod Olson, you ain't looking, or you ain't there.
Right.
He stands out. He looks like he belongs in the WWE. He looks like he could be Brock Lesnar's tag team partner. But he does usually shake his hand. He'll pat you on the back, thanks for coming out. He's a very busy guy, so don't expect him to sit there and chat with you for 20 minutes, but he's
Say that night that first night up there, it took us till the end of the night to get him to stand still long enough to do his interview.
Yeah, but he wants to make sure that that everybody feels welcome. So that's a good point. And you've got a great point, Matt. I mean, when you show up at a track and someone shakes your hand, says, well, thanks for coming out, where are you from, stuff like that, it makes you want to go back.
Right, and going from whether it be driver to driver, team to team, trailer to trailer, however it works out, but it means a lot more than just everybody in a group at the pit meeting. Hey, thanks for coming out, guys. I know it's 100 degrees. But to actually walk from trailer to trailer and talk, even if the driver's MIA, out mingling somewhere else, even if they just talk to the crew guys, thanks for coming out. Face to face is a lot more personable, and to me, there's more respect in that than just the big group at the pit meeting.
After a while, when you go to tracks where the promoters are shaking your hand and they're not kissing your butt, we all know when someone's kissing our butt, but when they come up and, hey, Matt, thanks for coming out. You didn't have to come out here tonight, but thanks for coming out. What do you think? Stuff like that. And then when you go to a number of tracks that do that, let's say 4 or 5 tracks, and then you go to that one track and the guy's like, well, it's just Matt Dennis. Hey, everybody, how's it going? You're like, well, why should I come back here? Now the promoter's gonna go, well, you got fans in the stands. Well, that's easy, said. So make me feel welcome, make me feel like I'm at home. I told everybody, I think you even chimed in earlier this season when I said I'm coming back to Crawford County Speedway. Boy, howdy, did everybody light up Facebook. Bud's coming back to Crawford County. I was like, yep, I'm coming back to Crawford County. I had mentioned that I was going to give it 1 or 2 years, see how the track comes around with new management, and I watched what Rod did last half of the year, and lo and behold, I'm back. So, and I'm having a great time at Crawford County. 2 top 10s. May have finished in the back, but hey, you got to finish the race first. So.
Yeah, but for how your season's going, top 10s are going to be more than enough at the time being.
Yeah, we've
just had some bad luck.
And it's stuff that you can't even make up, really.
No.
Yeah, it's just, at this point, it's laughable. So, if there's any big show, any one big show every year that you really look forward to, which show would it be?
There's a lot of those.
Well, you can only have one.
Super Nationals.
Super Nationals. What is it about Super Nationals that you like so much?
Racing and guys I get to hang out with. And I made a lot of friends the last few years at Super Nationals.
Let's decode this. Racing. There's 800 races that happen over the course of 7 days. The guys that I get to hang out with, he gets to drink a lot. With friends, there's 50,000 of them in the pits. Is that about accurate?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So, you think there's any chance of you maybe wanting to get a car, drive a car, play around with a car? Your dad's over here going, oh boy.
If I had the money, I would.
Your dad's over here going,
yeah.
No. Any certain class that you'd really like to, if you had the money, is there a certain class that you'd really like to drive?
Hobby stock.
Really?
Yeah.
We hear a lot of mods and stock cars, but hobby stocks, why hobby stocks?
I don't know. I've always liked that class, and I wouldn't mind a stock car either. It'd be pretty fun to run one of those.
Well, hobby stocks, you could go out and show Jason Cole and Shannon Anderson how to do it.
Yeah.
I hear they're a couple of the slower guys.
Yeah. What about sport compacts?
I like those too.
Would you drive one of those?
Yeah, if I had the chance.
You know they're only $1,500 to get one.
Yeah.
Dad's like, no.
Yeah, your dad's like, no. So, tell you what, let's switch gears a little bit. We actually had a very, very unfortunate mishap on Friday night. Jesse Webb. The Webb family out of Crawford County Speedway, I mean, just the Webb name is synonymous with Western Iowa racing. If you've never heard of the likes of Kara Webb, Jesse Webb, Ryan Webb, and I think there's a couple other Webbs in there. It's like a whole I don't know, a web of racing. So,
It's kind of like the Smith boys.
yeah, the Webbs are a lot like the Smith boys. Big family, big time into racing. Jesse Webb was injured in a racing incident. It was nobody's fault. It was just good old hard racing. Crawford County had what I think Friday night last week, hands down the best field of A-mods I've ever seen.
Yes, it was very good.
Oh my.
It was excellent.
Yeah. When we're sitting there getting our car ready in the pits, and I'm like, here comes Hot Laps. I'm like, I walked by Dylan Smith's GRT, and I was like, I walked back, and I was like, Dylan! He's giving me a thumbs up. I'm like, oh my God, Dylan Smith's here. And then there's Chris. Chris waves. I'm like, I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my God. And I listed off like 10 names. And it was incredible. The best field of A-mods I've ever seen in the history of Crawford County since I've been racing there. In the feature, Justin Zeitner, he was there. Hits the cushion. I'm not going to say hits the wall. Right side tires dig into the cushion. Left side tires come up off the ground. From my pit stall, you can see the entire underside of his GRT. You couldn't see it long enough to take notes for setup changes, but you can see the underside of the GRT.
You could probably hit pause on the video.
That's a good point. Yeah, he was on a rail, but the side bite was so much that the left side tires came up. When the left side tires came up, here comes Jesse Webb. Jesse Webb comes in, and when Jesse Webb comes in underneath of him, Justin's back in, fell down on top of the car. Here's a picture of what the car looks like after they cut Jesse out. You can see in the picture right here, it was pretty bad. Justin was okay. Jesse is okay. It did knock him out. What did happen, when it knocked him out, the throttle stuck. Either his foot was just laying on the throttle pedal or something got bent in the front end, but the motor went straight to the rev limiter. It was banging the chip pretty hard. He come off the top side of one, straight into the infield, hit one of the concrete jersey barriers. I did not know an A-mod had enough power to monster truck one of those. His did. Tore the Razor up pretty bad. We were all scared to death, but Jesse, we're hoping that you have a really good, speedy recovery. We want to see you back out there on the track. Nobody needs to get injured. It was just a hard racing deal. Nobody did nothing wrong, in my opinion. But I tell you what, that really puts things into perspective, though. You know, I think a lot of fans, we were sitting there talking, me and Harley Meyer, we were talking in the pits. The fans go in the stands, and you've seen, and I've seen it, and you've seen this, oh, I'll take this driver out, or go take that driver out. Well, that doesn't do the sport any good. It doesn't. Be thankful that some of your drivers, your favorite drivers, you know, I'm not a very good driver, but I got a ton of fans. You know, and those fans at Crawford County, you've seen this on Facebook, get excited when I go up there. Be thankful that your drivers are at least there. It doesn't matter if they're a championship winning driver or not. Be thankful that you have the track. Be thankful those drivers are there.
Right.
That's really important.
And I mean, with you saying take this driver out, take that driver out, I'm not saying by any means go out and take somebody out. I am saying that good, hard racing, door to door, little bumping, little rubbing, that's great. But to go out and take somebody out, whether I'll give you $500 to do it or I'm just pissed off because you hit my back bumper twice last week.
Yeah.
I'm not into that part.
No.
But the hard racing, the tire rubbing, and not to take out somebody's door, but even if you run your tire down their door, that's just good hard racing.
You know how many times I've had that tire scrub mark all the way down side the door, and I've had somebody come up to me and apologize, and I'm like, dude, what are you apologizing for? That was fun racing. It's a frickin' race car. It's not a 67 Chevelle show car. It's a race car. We'll just go out and, you know, now look, if I'm going into the corner and you take your car and you T-bone me wide open, we're gonna have issues. But look, if we're rubbing on each other a little bit, it's a race car. The stuff's gonna get tore up.
Right.
You know, that doesn't make me mad. But once again, no, with the whole Justin Zeitner, Jesse Webb thing, nobody was doing anything wrong. It was just hard racing. And I actually think, whether people realize it or not, when they restarted that A-Mod A feature after that red flag, I think the racing was actually harder then than what it was before the wreck. And it makes me wonder maybe if they were just racing a little bit harder for Jess. I thought about that. I know Shane DeMay, he was down there in turn 2. He had a great view of everything that was going on during the red flag, and he got out of his car, and Shane looked really concerned. We all looked really concerned. The one thing I do want to mention, with that wreck, when you're sitting in the stands, you could see the ambulance come over, and you could see everybody in the pits just run over there. I understand that the tracks want space for the safety personnel, but the tracks have got to be smart enough to understand that when you've got a bunch of little kids running around and a bunch of racers running around, they're personal friends with a racer that's going through what he's going through at that moment. You know, I'm going to say a good chunk of the crowd was 50 foot away. Not everybody, but a good chunk of the crowd was at least 50 foot away from the wreck. And when you're telling everybody, go back to your trailers, go do something else, leave us alone, no, it ain't going to happen. I understand what they're trying to do, but
I can see where the 50-foot thing is a little close. And everybody wants to see what's going on because everybody's friends with everybody at these racetracks. So I can at least say step back, not get away, go back to your trailer, find something different to do. Red flag, you're not going to find something different to do.
When I did see a glimpse where he was moving his hands. Once he moved his hands, they were putting him on the stretcher. As soon as they put him in the stretcher, his eyes were open, so I knew he was alive. I was like, okay, so then I did go back to my trailer, and all I did was simply load my car up, and by that time, the race was starting again. So I tell you what, Jesse, get back to racing. We can't wait to see you back on the track. Hope you have a speedy recovery. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk. We're going to have a special Songer Says this week, so stay tuned. It's Slinging Dirt.
Does your car smell as bad as Jamie Songer does? Come on down and we'll take care of you. Well, we're gonna scrub all your vinyl, we're gonna clean all your seats, your carpet, everything. We're gonna put a conditioner on it, make a nice shine. It's gonna last for a long, long time. Then we're gonna hit the outside of your car. We're gonna do a nice hand wash with a buff with a nice hand wax finish. Call us at 282-4339.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Slinging Dirt. It's that time of the week. We're gonna have the one and only Jamie Songer, an old teetered floor. Yeah. You've seen.
Yep.
We've all seen the Songer Says for this show.
I'm sure Songer's segment this week is gonna be pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll get heated reviews while measuring up to expectations. With that being said, he has a very good point. When it comes to, I don't know how many times I've seen this. I have seen the wives and the girlfriends go out on Facebook and just trash talk somebody. And I'm like, lady, you wasn't even on the track. You wasn't even at the track. In fact, you may not even have been in the same state, but oh my God, you know exactly what happened. He's got such a very good point.
There's a lot of wives, girlfriends, moms, sisters that like to be the spoon in the pot. You don't have to be.
No. No, if anything, being the spoon in the pot can just make it that much worse. And he's got a point when it comes to fixing the car. He couldn't have said it best. Oh, well, the women are going, well, it's our money too, and and all this and all that. Well, he's absolutely correct. Well, we don't see your butt out there working on the car.
And there are a handful of them that do it.
Yeah.
That do go out there. But for every one that is out there, there's probably another 10 that aren't.
At least 10 that aren't. And I don't know how many times, not in my experience, my wife, Rachel, I love her to death, but I don't know if she could tell you the difference between a wrench and a fork or a hammer and a screwdriver. I don't know if she...
About the only time she comes out to the shop anymore is either with a case of water or a box of popsicles for her.
Yeah, we love the popsicles.
And with Jamie's segment coming up, you probably shouldn't have said you love popsicles, bud.
Oh, man. So, without further ado, I know there's a disclaimer to the Songer Says, but this one's very unique. Before we go into the Songer Says, though, I tell you what, let's just go ahead and do the Songer Says. We're going to come back from the Songer, and we're going to have a little meme contest. So, without further ado, here's Jamie Songer.
Warning, the related content may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, so I know we've touched on this before, but drivers, wives, or girlfriends talking shit on the internet about another driver. I mean, first off, most of you women don't know if your husband was in heat 1, heat 3, heat 33, heat 44. You don't even know. And so you don't obviously know if he blew it in and slid up, or if he turned down while the guy was coming under him at the same time. You don't know exactly what happened. You don't have a clue usually. But you'll get on there and say, oh, this guy did that and that guy did this. And number one, you better make sure you're right. And number two, you're probably gonna get your husband or your boyfriend wrecked or beat up. And I know, wrecked. Oh, well, it's our money that pays for the car too. It might be your money too, but it sure as the hell ain't your ass fixing it. Spending countless hours in the night trying to fix it. And when you get wrecked because your wife or girlfriend, that's a divorce. Just waiting to happen. But for instance, we don't go to your Tupperware parties and go, oh, Jesus, I can't believe your friend Matilda bought that shit. She don't even cook. What the hell is she thinking? Or better yet, we don't go to your pure romance party and go, oh my God, I can't believe Susie bought that. That big old bitch ain't ever gonna use that sex toy. Oh my God. No, we don't do that, but how would you like it? I mean, the racing is great. We love that you support it. But sometimes you gotta keep your mouth shut and just be quiet until you've talked to your husband or talked to others to make sure that you are correct. Then if you want to post away and you're positively sure, let your husband do it. Or go tell your girlfriend, hey, I can't believe Bob ran into Bill. It was so terrible. But don't put it on the internet. It can't turn out good. I mean, you don't want me at your pure romance party, but it's coming.
Holy cow, can you imagine Jamie Songer hosting a pure romance party?
I don't want to imagine that.
Well, I can just see...
I don't want to be in the same state when Jamie does that.
Can you imagine Jamie Songer in his Blue Man outfit showing up to host a pure romance? They call me the Viagra Man. I mean, you can have so much fun. You know, I've already got guys going, it's Jamie Songer. So, with the whole Jamie Songer comment, we seen this a couple of weeks ago, and Jamie, we couldn't wait to use this Songer Says. We're gonna have a meme contest. So here's the deal. We're gonna give you 2 calendar weeks from today's show. Watch the Jamie Songer Says, we'll rewatch the clip. He talks about Tupperware and hosting pure romance parties. Well, he got off the Tupperware stick, but he said, as far as I know, from my way of understanding the English language, that him hosting a pure romance party was coming. So we're gonna have a meme contest. I wanna see the best Jamie Songer pure romance party meme. Keep in mind, this is highly family oriented. No obscenity, swear words, no nudity, nothing like that. But I just wanna have good old fashioned fun with Jamie Songer. The best Jamie Songer meme, shut up. The best Jamie Songer meme will win 10 free races to Joe's Karting off my own personal account. I want to see just how far this will go. And Jamie, I will tell you right now that Andrew Berg has already been told of this situation. I haven't talked to Eric Stanton, but...
Would you consider how far it can go a home run?
I don't know. Maybe we should I tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take all the memes. Turn in your meme as soon as possible. At the end of the 2 weeks, the meme with the most likes on the Sling and Dirt page, that person that posted the meme is your winner. That's how we're gonna judge this.
And they can't be repeats.
They cannot be repeats.
If you post one that somebody else has already posted, and granted they're supposed to be thought of on your own, but if you post something after somebody else and it's the same exact picture, same exact words, well, we're gonna take the first one that came onto the page, not the second one.
I can just see a meme already. Jamie Songer in his black and orange bikini top. It just says, Jamie Songer, the pocket rocket. So, just saying, this is gonna...
I just hope he doesn't lose one of his beads.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, wait till you see this meme coming out. Yeah, we just hope you don't lose one of your beads. So, but I tell you what, we're gonna be right back here on Sling and Dirt. We're gonna give you some time to get those memes going, and so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Joe's Karting is the Metro's fastest indoor karting facility. Come to Joe's to experience speed, join the competition, and ride the fastest indoor track around. Our professionally designed indoor karting track is perfect for arrive and drive racing, race classes, and racing competitions. We offer affordable pricing options, membership packages, event outings, and so much more. Stop in today to get registered for your next race, and don't forget to like us on Facebook for deals, giveaways, and more. Visit us online at joeskarting.com.
Welcome back to Sling and Dirt. We had to gain our composure, creative element, and got beated out there for a while. But anyways, Kevin, thanks for coming on the show. What's on tap for this week's racing? Maybe the next couple weeks of racing.
Elta this Wednesday. Haven't decided Friday yet. Webster City Saturday. I know there's a stock car special Sunday at Stewart that I want to attend. Next week, Tuesday, is Veterans Race at Britt.
Are you planning on going to the Silver Dollar Nationals?
Probably not.
What?
That was something I was going to ask earlier. You primarily stay in Iowa, or do you venture out Minnesota?
I venture out. I've been in Nebraska.
Why not go to the Silver Dollar Nationals? We're going to that.
I've never been to it. He's making me go.
Yeah. The Lucas Oil late models and the USMTS. I mean, it's a good show.
It's not Lucas anymore.
Well, okay, I consider it the Lucas. Was it the
Craftsman bought the series.
Oh, that's right. The Craftsman, yeah.
Craftsman late model series now.
Craftsman late model series. Thanks for reminding me about that. I totally forgot about that. So, yeah, you got to go to the Silver Dollar Nationals at least once. So, that's it for this week's show. Kevin, thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining us. You want to come back later this season? We can talk, recap what you've seen, who's looking good.
Sounds great.
Who looked good. We promise we won't be talking about Jamie Songer and pure romance parties and nothing like that again.
We can't guarantee that.
Yeah, we can, yeah.
It kind of depends on what Jamie's Songer says is going to be.
Yeah.
And for the record, Jamie Songer, you kind of threw yourself under the bus on that whole deal. So, I mean, you open up that door, I just walked through it. So.
That's enough on that one.
Yeah. So, all right, next week we'll be right back here on Sling and Dirt. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.